Welcome to Sew Bliss. Today I'm going to show you how to install snaps. I have a couple different kinds of snaps. I have some from Cam Snaps that are plastic. I have another set from Snap Source that are metal. And I have a third set that is Dritz that I got from Joann's. And it comes in just this little box right here. And it is a little snap fastener kit. So I just wanted to show you a few different snaps that I've used and how to install them and which ones I prefer. So let's get started. Now the first set of snaps that I want to show you how to install are these plastic Cam snaps. I like these for children's clothing. You just want to make sure that the layers are pretty thick. You have some interfacing in between your fabric, so that way it holds tight, because I've had it shift a little bit on me after it's been put in and then I'm trying to unsnap it or put it back together, something like that. So whenever you are using snaps, you want to make sure that you have a strong fabric with the interfacing in the middle, and that'll help really strengthen that area. Now the set that I just got off of Amazon. I'll put a link down below for it. But it came with this tool that you're going to need to press the pieces, and then it also came with all these colors. I really liked that it came with a good variety. You can see that I've used most of my white and green, so I need to restock those, but I really liked that I have a good variety of those. And then it also came with this tool and another piece for this plier set, so that's really nice. So when I put my snaps on, I usually just eyeball it for the placement. So this is just some scrap fabric that I'm going to be showing you. A little later I will show you how I place them on my romper, but right now I'm just going to be using some scrap fabric. So I have 2 layers right here, and the first thing, you want to decide where you want to put it. So if you want to use a marking pencil, a regular pencil, and we'll just put a dot. And I do think, like, if you're folding it over like this, I would say to match those up before you do anything, and find that dot right there and then match it on this side just like that. Say I did it on this side, I would put a dot, and then I would come hold that down and fold it over and then put a dot on that side, so that way I know they're matching up. And then if you want, you can go with a marking tool again and kind of create that X. So X marks the spot right in the middle. That way I know for sure. So then I can take this tool, comes with the Cam set, and it just has a really sharp point. It's not focusing right there, but it's a really sharp point. Now if you don't have this, or if you're using other snaps and haven't gotten this, you can also use your seam ripper. That also has a sharp point, and this just helps so that these sockets go through nice and easily. So first thing, I would poke that hole right where I want it, right where it's gonna go. And again, I'm gonna match this up again, fold it like that, make sure I have it matching the way I want it, and poke a hole through those layers as well. And if I want to, I could poke it through all 4 layers and make sure it's going to line up the way I want it. So this, we'll say this is going to be my top. So I'm going to make sure this socket is on the top, because that's the part you want to see. And then I'm going to be putting one of the studs. Now this is a stud, and there's a female stud and a male stud. So female stud has the hole, male has this ridge right here that would snap in. For this top piece, we put the socket through, and then I have the stud, and I'm putting it right on top of it. And this one, you want to have the hole facing up, just like that. And then I would take my pliers, and with the black part wants to be covering the socket. So I will cover that and hold it. Now I'm not squeezing yet. I just wanted to show you that you cannot see any of the snap from the outside. And this side's fine. That side you're gonna be able to see something,
but from the black side, you don't want to be able to see any of it because you want to be able to put a lot of pressure on that and you don't want that blocking the pressure. So then I can push those together and open it up, and there it has come together. So there I have my snap placed. So then I'm ready to go over to this one. Now this one, if you look at it, it'll fold over like this. So this will be the other side of it, and you want that to be smooth, whether it's seen or sometimes it'll be on the inside, touching the body. So this will be perfect because it'll be smooth and won't irritate whoever's wearing that outfit. And then we have our other stud. This is the male stud. You can see that it has the top ridge right here. So I'm going to place that on top. And again, grab my pliers, slide this over, making sure that you cannot see the socket at all, and then squeezing together. And release, and there I have it. So I have my 2 snaps ready, and that's how easy they are to put in. So I really just love these plastic snaps. They add a really fun touch. So now we can go over to the metal snaps, and I'm going to be doing the snap fastener kit. This I just got at Joann's. I'm sure you can get it at any crafting store. And it's by Dritz. So it came with this little tool, which I'll show you how to use in a second, and then it came with 4 sets of snaps. So here's one of these metal snaps already inserted. This again is the one that I got from the snap fastener kit from Joann's. So that one is all done, and it looks great. So this flat side is on the inside and it'll be touching the baby's leg. So that's perfect because it'll lay smooth and flat and won't irritate the baby. So those can be snapped together. And when I'm doing the rest and placing them, I want to make sure the snaps are placed and snapped together so that I can place them the right way. So for mine, again, I'm just eyeballing it for the most part. Some patterns will tell you where to put them, like if you have a button pattern or a button placement, then you can kind of do that. Whereas this one, I just kind of am eyeballing it. I thought about just doing 4 and doing 2 on the ends because you don't want this end flapping around too much. So you want to have one close to the edge. And then I was going to do just 2 in the middle, but this was long enough that I thought I should do 3 in this center area. So that's what I'm going to do. And you can see I've already marked it. So I went ahead and put a dot and then make sure it's lined up correctly actually, put a dot, and then while holding that with my finger, then I came on the other side and put another dot on the inside and then made an X. So that way I know it's going to be lining up, because this one I will not be poking a hole through because you can see I have that circle. You can see I actually marked it with a marking pen and it's showing because it's just the ring. So that's something I made a mistake right there, but that's okay. It should wash out. So now I can unsnap these and get ready to set those snaps in. So again, I want to make sure I know where the top is, where the inside is. So this is the inside of the leg, and this is going to be like the top of it. And whether you want it this side coming on top or this side coming on top, that's more about preference, unless your pattern tells you exactly what to do, which I'd go with the pattern. But if you have a strong preference, I would say just do what you want. So I have those marked. I'm going to do my top one first. So I'm going to take this metal socket. You can see it has those claw-like things right there. And I'm going to put it on top. I'm going to put it right over the center of my X. And I'm going to push it through as much as I can. So you are going to be like poking a hole through your fabric. Just these little tiny holes. Now one thing that might help is taking a pencil and using the eraser side of it to push down in the middle. I have found that that actually does help a lot. If not, just use your fingers, but then you might just get poked a lot. Once you have that placed in the fabric, I can lay that down on my table, Make sure it's still poking through. Here I have the socket with the raised side, so you can kind of see it. There's barely a raised side right here. I'm gonna put that down into those prongs. So you'll kind of feel it set in place and you can't really move it. So you wanna make sure it does that. Then I can take my setting tool and put it over all of that. Make sure you don't move it too much or you might have to reset it. And then I have a hammer here, just a normal hammer, and I'm gonna hammer that into place. And you can feel it being pushed together by the hammer. So if you're not feeling that, something is off. And then it should just clamp together just like that. So now I can do the other side. And again, if you want to line up your edges, make sure they're going to line up okay and you have it placed where you want it and make sure that was placed okay, then that would be great. But next, I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. This time I'm just going to have this raised stud, the male stud, and my prong. So that is going to be on the inside this time. So I'm going to make sure it comes up on the center of my X. Again, X marks the spot. So here I'm going to place that. And one thing you want to make sure when you're eyeballing it is that you don't get it too close to your edge right here, that it's going to like fall off. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to push that on using my pencil. Push that fabric down. And then place that on my table and place the stud on top with this point on top. And again, make sure it's not moving, that's just laying there and kind of clicks in place. And then I'll take my setting tool, and this has a hole on the bottom of it, so it just kind of clicks right in place. And if I hold that there, then I can hammer. And it's set. Perfect. So then I can just go and make sure that they're lined up and it's exactly how I want, and click those into place. And then I can go along and do the rest of mine along here, and I'll make sure it's still aligned. I'm still always checking to make sure it's still lining up the way I want it, so that way these ones are in the right place. So if I need to move anything, I can, or I can wait to draw these X's until I have the other ones figured out. So whatever your preference is. So that is how you use the Snap Fastener Kit. Now I want to show you how to use the Snap Setter tool, and this is from SnapSource online. I really like their selection. They have some great stuff online. So I'm going to show you how to use theirs. Theirs is pretty much exactly the same as this set. They just have this tool that comes with it. So it's a different technique, whatever your preference is. I just wanted to show a good variety for you guys. So SnapSource is nice because it has a bunch of rings that are different colors and styles, and then it also has caps that are a bunch of different colors, and then it also has like pearl ones that are really cool. So they have a great selection that you can go check out. So I'm just using this baby pink one that I have, and I'm going to show you again on a scrap piece of fabric. So I'm going to say this is my top, so this prong would be going right here because I want to see the pink. So that's how I'm going to be doing it on this sample piece of fabric. So for these snaps, again, you're going to be using the Snap Setter tool, and I have the size 15 tool. They come in all different sizes and colors based on what size you're using. So I'm just going to disassemble it, and here's my base. It even says what it is, so that's really nice. And I'll place that right here. I'm going to be placing the top piece on the bottom, and then I'll place my fabric right over top. And again, I have my X. I'm going right in the middle of my X, and I am going to push that down a little bit just to make sure it stays exactly where I want it. If you want to, again, take your pencil and make sure it stays in place. Then I can take the middle piece and place that on top. Make sure it's still lined up and it hasn't moved. Then I'll take this socket, and with the raised side, again, it's hard to tell on camera, but right here on top is the raised side, and I'm going to place that down so that it locks into those prongs. So I'll place it there. And then I place the top part, the top piece on top. And right here, you can see that circle, and I'll take a hammer, or they even sell a hammer that you can buy that goes with the kit, and I just hammer that together. I kind of want to go around just to make sure I get it pretty good. I have heard that it's helpful to place a piece of wood and then this on top so that you get a real good stronghold. So there I have that placed. So I'm ready to do my other piece. And again, this piece will go on the outside, so no matter where it is, it's smooth. And I'm gonna push that in, making sure it's set. And I can take this apart again and place those prongs in that hole, in that circle right there, and make sure that's good. Okay, now I can put the middle piece back on. Make sure there's no shifting. Then I'm ready to place this stud right on top. And then I place my top piece and hammer it down. Okay, and then I can take it apart, pull it out, and it should be perfect. So then I can snap it together, and there we go. Just like that, it's all done. So it's super quick and easy. This tool is just nice so that you remember all your steps and keep everything in place. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it answered all of your snap setting questions. If you are interested in this romper, I'll put a link to the video of it down below. It is the t-shirt romper that I made. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe. And also make sure to go check out my Instagram, MySewBliss, where I will be posting more sewing tips and sneak peeks of projects that I'm working on, and maybe a few giveaways. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!